Welcome, and it's a fine day for conversation. This is Pep Talk, and I'm your host, Tim Paget. On Pep Talk, we discuss the artistry of business, the intangibles, those things like resourcefulness, commitment, leadership, creativity, perseverance, bravery, communication, and also collaboration. With me today is Myriam Herrera. Now, to be totally upfront, Myriam and I used to work together a few years ago.
Yes, we did.
And she was a great salesperson for a marketing agency. And now you've taken another path. She left us 4 years ago, maybe?
Roughly, yes.
And now she works with the Boy Scouts of America. And what is it that you call it?
We're at the Pathway to Adventure Council, newly formed by the union of a merger between 4 traditional councils.
So it's bigger, better than ever?
Bigger, better, stronger scouting.
And we're going to talk a little bit about those initiatives. One of the things that Myriam does is to help raise money.
I do. I feel like in the sale that we had, you and I back then, selling the invisible, selling the idea, it was a challenging sale, but now in this new role, I sell a fuzzy, warm feeling, a good feeling, the feeling of giving, the feeling of taking the time that you have, the extra time that you have, talent that you may have, or generosity, and converting that into the smiles of the kids.
Yeah, and you have 3 big initiatives every year for that.
Yes, we do. We have 2 industry events, one in metals and one in construction. The metals industry dinner is now international. The construction industry dinner covers all of the Midwest. And then there's finally the Lasalle Event, which the Lasalle Event is in the financial industry. All of them have been around for almost 50 years.
What's the financial tie-in to scouting?
Well, the 12 points of the scouting law include the initiative of a scout being thrifty, being wise with his money, learning how to budget. There actually is a merit badge that tries to teach young boys how to take their monthly allowance and convert it into a budget that keeps them balanced. So because of that reason, we have a strong tie-in with the financial industry. But it was the parents of scouts back 50 years ago that wanted to do and give back to scouting that formed the Lasalle Industry Event.
You have a son, Ethan. He's in scouting.
Yes, he is.
He's how old now?
He'll be 12 in a couple of weeks.
12. I just saw a picture of him. He's a very handsome young man. Got his mom's hair instead of his dad's. We have a similar issue.
Yes.
But he loves it, and he is into some of the newer things that are happening in scouting, right?
Yes, very much
A lot
so.
more of the sciences that are coming.
Yes, scouting has realized that in order to stay relevant with youth, we have to make some changes. And one of those things is to really bring technology, to bring the heady part of learning that has always been a part of scouting through the merit badge system, but bringing it into a way that kids will understand today. So,
the LaSalle event you talked about, what's the new vision for that?
Well, that is an interesting scenario. Over the course of the 50 years that it's been around, there's been a lot of changes in the financial industry. Chicago no longer has the small banks that were native to our town. Those have gone by the wayside. Another issue is that it used to be a people-driven industry. It used to be done face-to-face. It used to be the runners on the trading floor, but that's not the case anymore. Nowadays, all of that is done through technology, and in order for us to continue teaching youth the lessons of finance, we have to take into consideration that technology is a big part of that.
So how are you going to do that?
Well, through the vision of a volunteer, as a matter of fact, we are creating a new way of bringing the finance industry with scouting, and that's Trading Tech 300. Trading Tech 300 is asking 30 companies to give us 10 volunteers that will help us conduct merit badge days or on-job training, just experiences that youth can take away and learn something different about their industry, hopefully in the area of science, technology, engineering, or math, but we're opening it up to whatever it is that that company wants to do. And so far we have 20 companies, CBOE, Advantage Trading, several companies that have already signed up to be a part of that. It looks right now like Columbus Day is going to be a big merit badge day for our boys here. A lot of the companies are going to be doing full training days during that day.
Is that because it's a financial holiday? Columbus Day?
It's a day off, so the kids will be able to come in and enjoy and learn from the employees.
I love the branding. 30 and then 10. I get it, 300. And how about the kids? I mean, when I was 12 years old, I didn't have any idea what finance was all about. I would make a couple of bucks cutting the grass, but are they into it that much?
You know, it's a perfect scenario for Boy Scouts to earn their merit badges that they're already working on. And a perfect opportunity for us to bring Explorers, which is a co-ed educational, professional to youth type of relationship. And eventually, our hope is that we're going to be tracking them to learn about these companies so that they can participate in their internship programs. So the hope here is really to track youth, to get to know these companies, to get to know these organizations. We've had a lot of success with Abbott Labs, where they have had exploring units within their organization. And a lot of those youth end up becoming employees of the company. So the younger they are in learning about a company, the greater chances that company has of bringing in talent that really sticks with them for a lifetime.
That's a pretty good way to go about it.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't hurt for them to understand the dynamics of finance too.
Right.
Having a son in college, I know how much that costs now. When
Yes.
Ethan gets there,
Absolutely.
it's going to be a little bit more. So that's a good perspective for them too. Well, thanks for being my guest today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And I look forward to seeing how the Lasalle event evolves. And if people want to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
They can reach out to me at myriam.herrera@scouting.org, or they could call me at 312-421-8800. I'm at extension 209.
Myriam, thanks again for being my guest today.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
That about wraps it up. For Pep Talk, I'm Tim Padgett, and we'll see you next time.